Hello and welcome, one and all, to 8 Misbehaving, a twisted narrative actual play in the world of Blades in the Dark. I'm Kristian, and as usual, I'll be presiding over this descent into the criminal underworld of Doskvol. I'm joined by my regular players, so could you please introduce yourselves and your characters, starting with Sarah.
Hi, so I'm going to reprise the role of Grimlyn. And Grimlyn appears as a woman with long dark hair, tied in a simple single plait down their back, wearing a long skirt and a tight waistcoat, pretty grubby looking, a shawl with sort of holes in it, and a tatty boater hat.
Lovely, thank you very much, Grimlyn. Kyle.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. My name's Kyle, and tonight I'm looking forward to discovering more about who my character is. Vixen. She's around 5'8", blue eyes, dirty blonde hair, long waistcoat, and a flat cap.
Lovely, thank you very much, Vixen. Rachel.
Hi, yeah, I'll be playing Jellybean again, who is a very young girl and she looks very sweet. She's got long blonde hair that's in ringlets and she wears cute and very luxury looking velvet dresses with lots of lacy frills. But she maybe isn't as sweet as she.
Lovely. Thank you, Jellybean. And finally, Andy.
Hey. Tonight I will be playing once again Barkin, Larkin, Ambrose. Barkin, Larkin, for those who want to know his first name. He's very much a typical inhabitant of Duskville. When you look at him, dirty coat, tricorn hat, big scarf, always looking for the next score. Fingerless gloves, stained fingers, both through ink and nicotine as well. He's not the most stable of individuals, having the ability to sense ghosts and supernatural things. This has taken a toll on him, although sometimes he has moments of clarity, and sometimes those are more scary than his moments of supernatural dread. I'm very much looking forward to playing him once again. So thank you very much, Kristian, for giving us the opportunity.
Thank you, Barkin, Larkin. And thank you all for introducing yourselves. So, last time, you managed to get yourselves some informants for your crew. The Nameless, I believe, is the name you went with. Led by a person called Ogre. You managed to find yourselves this group that will help you on future engagements. What it means is you'll get plus 1d6 to any future finding information roll when you're trying to plan for an engagement. But tonight, time has moved on a little bit. Nestled in Charter Hall, home to the government of Doskvol, is the Bellwether Crematorium, home of the Rookery for the Death Seeker Crows, and the Spirit Bells, arcane bells that ring every time a person dies in Doskvol. The bell can only be heard by the wardens, the spirit wardens, whose masks are attuned to its magical peals. There is, however, another situation in which one can hear the bell, when you are in close proximity to someone that has died. Once a bell is rung, a Death Seeker Crow leaves the crematorium and heads towards the deceased, circling around its location, getting closer and closer until the wardens arrive. They collect the body, take it back to the crematorium, and, well, the rest is electroplasm. However, that is all information you already know as residents of Doskvol. You've all been invited to a meeting by one H.G. Lazarus at Rosenthal's dining rooms. Sark collected this this invitation last time and informed you of this meeting that's been set up. He's required you to be there tomorrow night at the equivalent of 7 p.m. in Doskvol. So it's up to you whether or not you want to go or not. But just to remind you, one of the Eclectic Six's carriages had picked up a member of Ogre's Band of the Unfortunate Many, and that person hasn't been seen since. Will you get your answers from H.G. Lazarus? Or will you have more questions? That is entirely up to you. Over to you, whether or not you wish to go.
It smells of a trap. But that said, they've got all the cards. I mean, the entire pack. Probably 2 packs stuffed up their sleeves. So we're not going to lose anything. Perhaps gain something by actually meeting him face to face if he's actually the geezer, because he's probably not. It's probably someone pretending to be him in his place. You know what these people are like.
Yeah, so probably send some lackey
Patsy.
just in case.
Yeah.
But he might be there watching.
Well, it's the start of a trail, isn't it?
Mm.
And you know what I'm like once I get the scent. Hey, I
That's
can
true.
sniff anybody out in this city through the stench. But that's my vote, for what it's worth.
They know we're here in the theatre. They left us a letter. I'd
Sark
rather
says-
go to them.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'd rather go to them and have them come here to us when we're not expecting it.
Sark says, well, you don't get anywhere without setting up a dead drop of sorts. And, well, yeah, it was left there for us. It's not far away from here, though. So they know about it already. What are your thoughts, Grimlyn?
Well, this Eclectic Six, they're a thread that we've been pulling on for a little while. I don't see any reason not to try and pursue it. Like you said, it's not like they don't know where to find us if they wanted to. Seems like they're trying to give a polite invitation, and even though it is more than likely a trap, at least we would go in knowing that.
I hope you folks don't mind, but I won't be going. This sort of thing gives me the chills.
Totally understand.
I'll keep the place running whilst you're away, and yeah, hopefully everything will be all right, and you'll be back. Well, I say back for dinner, but if you're going to a dining room, I'd make sure you eat.
On them, obviously.
Of course. I mean, we may have some coin, but you don't get rich by spending money, do you?
Not your own, as Grimlyn says.
No, I suppose you'd know all about that, wouldn't you, Jellybean?
Well,
Well, your family would anyway.
yes, I get an allowance.
Right, well, yeah, take your gear. So, is there anything else you wish to do before you head out to this dining room? Rosenthal's dining room.
One of you lot staking it out. I mean, is it a high class place? Is it all right fancy like? And if it is, Jellybean, have you been there before? You know,
Yes,
will they let me in?
So you've got this invitation. It's gone quite plush paper. It's almost like a card invitation, sort of folded over with this signet on it. You know, Jellybean, that this is a very plush place. It is in Charter Hall. one of the nicer areas of the city.
Yes, Barkin, this is a very nice area. We have an invitation to the restaurant, but it would do well to blend in somewhat, I think.
Can we find out if the place is closed for a private venue event or something on those lines, or whether we're going in for a casual evening?
Are there phones in this?
No, there's no telephones. There is electricity, so there's a telegraph system. But there's no telephones or anything like that. If you wish to find out, you'll have to find out. How do you want to find out? What one of your skills would you like to use? You suggested this, Vixen. It sounds like it's going to be on you.
Well, I was going to suggest Jellybean send a stable boy.
Good plan. Yes, I mean, yeah, I would have said if there was phones, we could try and make a reservation, but the more low tech version. Do we have like staff that would, or is
I mean,
there
could we also try and talk to some of the staff to find out from them, like the people who presumably wait on tables, and stuff like that? Go to them and see if we can make friends with them, find out what they know, if they've heard of that person maybe, and if they come there regularly, they may have a regular table, or we may own it.
Okay, so which one of you wants to tackle that then? Who wants to try and
go like collectively in advance then, and like maybe me to take the front, some of us take the front, and you guys try and talk to the staff, or are we wanting to sort of do it somewhat differently? I don't know.
Yeah, can do.
Yeah.
How long have we got? Is it tonight? The invitation slot.
It's I believe it's for tomorrow night. So
Okay, so we have got tonight to lurk.
Yeah, to figure things out. You've got a day to figure things out. So, you mentioned some people are going to go find out things from the staff. Some people are going to approach the front. So I guess if we're splitting the gang, I want to know who's going to the front, who's going to the back, and we'll deal with those situations separately. So we'll start with the front. Who's going to go to the front of house and talk to people at the front?
Well, I'll go to the front. But depending on who else wants to come, it doesn't have to be anything bigger than me just trying to make a reservation.
Yep.
Have you got the back, Grimlyn? I'd rather not send in a child. Jellybean on their own. We never know what happens.
Yes, I mean, like, I'm happy to just chill out with some of the staff on their breaks and stuff.
If you want.
Okay. So, we'll deal with Jellybean and Vixen first, going to the front of the restaurant, and then we'll deal with Grimlyn and maybe Larkin, or if Larkin's got something else he wants to do, then we can deal with that as well. So, Vixen and Jellybean, how are you approaching this restaurant? You're going to go evening, afternoon. I mean, it's open kind of from the afternoon onwards through to late night.
I guess we want it to be not too busy if we're going to try and get some extra information. So
that'll be the afternoon then.
So yeah, exactly, before they start the evening rush.
Wonderful. So you tune up at the restaurant, the dining rooms. As always with Charter Hall, it's a beautiful part of the city. There are posh buildings all around. There are society people walking around this place. It is lovely around Charter Hall. It's a sort of place where you fit in, Jellybean. You fit in completely. There are clerks and government workers going about their business at the moment. It's the streets are broad. They're well lit. They're very, very clean. You could almost eat your breakfast on a table on them.
All right.
So the restaurant door is open, and you can see inside there is a host stand where there is a very pompous-looking lady in almost like a maitre d's outfit, sort of large waistcoat with a bow tie.
What time's our invitation for, by the way?
It's for the equivalent of 7 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay. Right. I'll go in then, I suppose.
So what would you like to do? She looks at you and goes, yes.
Well, I am wanting to procure a table for myself and my, family tomorrow, later on.
She looks down at the large book on the podium and goes, we have no tables tomorrow. We are fully booked.
No tables. This is
Private function, I'm afraid.
stomp my feet a bit. Look at Vixen like, ugh, this is just.
The family is very influential. Could you perhaps tell us who the private venue is? I'm sure if there were a few right words, we could have come to an agreement.
Ooh, you're gonna have to make me a roll for that one. What would you like to use? What have you got that you can use?
Social, so sway, I suppose.
Okay, give me a sway roll, please.
Okay, 2d6.
Oh, a critical success. So, just a quick reminder for anyone watching: 1 to 3 is a failure, 4 and 5 is a success with a complication, and a 6 is an outright success. A double 6 is a critical success. She goes, "Oh, well, let me. Oh, it's Mr. Oh, it's H.G. Lazarus, the well-known philanthropist. I'm terribly sorry, but there's little we can do to get you in. Mr. Lazarus is very, very well connected and wealthy, I'm afraid.
Yes, of course, we know Mr. H.G. I suppose.
I'm terribly sorry, but we can get you in the next night.
Well, I'll have to talk to everybody. Is he here often? Is this a place he likes to frequent?
Oh, Mr. Lazarus comes in once a week.
Well, that's good, I suppose. It's good to know that you live up to your reputation.
Look, I'm terribly sorry. Look, let me. She writes out on a little piece of paper. Do apologise for not being able to have a table for you. And please accept this with our compliments for a meal on us for you and a party of 4.
Oh, well, thank you. We shall endeavour to make a booking at some soon time when you have a space. Are there other private functions on other days?
Oh no! Just tomorrow. Just tomorrow. I'm so sorry. Just
No.
tomorrow.
Thank you. It's understood.
With that critical success, she's just completely now fawning over you both to sort of help you out. But she is still trying to shoo you to the door because Vixen does look like the help.
Yeah, that's fair. But on the other hand, yeah, if we like the food, we can make another booking and come back and get a free meal. So win.
Yeah, as you're leaving, she even says, you can even send your help round to the back and we have things out the kitchens for them too.
Oh.
Thank you very much. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Pocket that.
So we now go to the back of house and Grimlyn and Larkin, are you participating in this as well?
I am indeed heading in with Grimlyn.
Cool. So what's your plan? How are you going to try and find some of these workers?
I think Grimlyn's plan, I don't know if it fits in with Barkin Larkin, but
It does.
she's going to try and like keep an eye on the place. Like people must come out for breaks or to get hold of, stuff that they keep out the back. So she's going to try and just kind of watch and see what the rhythm of the place is like, and then try and maybe accidentally bump into somebody, or if somebody drops something, try and be there to kind of help them with it. And then strike up a conversation by trying to help them in some way.
Okay. So I'd like you to give me a roll for this, please.
Okay. Can I use my finesse because I'm trying to misdirect the kind of what's
Ooh.
going on?
That sounds like a good idea. Roll me finesse then, please. I think that sounds like it works very well with someone trying to carry something and something being dropped. Oh, a 6, an outright success. So, yeah, someone comes out the back and you can see these crates of like the beer stored out the back. They're padlocked up so no one can come and just nick them. But they come out, they get the thing out, and they take a crate off, they padlock it all back up again, they pick it up, and then would you believe it? But something's just in their way, and suddenly this crate just drops to the floor, and you can hear the tinkling and the smashing. Oh no! Oh well. I'm gonna have to pick all this up, and sort of they start bending down to pick all the bottles up, which is where you come in.
Yes. Do you want help with that? Be
Oh,
careful, don't cut yourself with all that glass.
what? Oh no! Oh yeah. No, sorry. He gets a handkerchief out. It's a youngish man, and he ties it round his hand. He's wearing a waiter's outfit, and he said, "Oh, thank you very much, miss. Yeah, that'd be lovely. That'd be lovely. Sir, miss."
But she'll kind of carry on for a while, and then she'll kind of try to derail him a little bit, sort of say, "Fancy a smoke?" Try and delay
He-
him a bit. Strike
He
a
puts the
conversation.
thing down and says, "Yeah, go on then." All
Seems like
right.
you're having a bit of a day.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, he kicks open the thing, the crate, sees that there's some bottles that haven't smashed, and just gets one out and beer.
Why not?
What about you, mate? Do you want one?
Where do you throw all your trash, all the waste
Oh,
food?
we're in the bins over there, mate. You can see this
Cheers.
bin that's just overflowing, and there's rats all around it.
I head to the bins.
He looks at him and goes, "Yeah, no, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that."
Yeah, don't mind him. He's had a hard day too.
Oh,
You like
yeah.
working here?
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice restaurant. You get lots of people through. Get sort of rich and influential people through that are always happy to spend a coin. Give you a coin. You hear a lot of information here as well. It's quite a useful place to be, really.
Sounds like it. How long have you worked here?
Oh, a couple of years now.
Oh, so they like train you up in house and stuff.
Yeah. Well, train. They give you the apron. They give you a tray, and they say, "There you go. Good luck. Don't swear at the clients." I'm not going to chuffing swear.
You're not even when they're really rude. I mean, I just can't imagine that some of them are really obnoxious creeps.
Well, when they're really rude, there are things you do to their food. I mean, you see your friend there, and describe what Larkin's currently doing with these bins.
Well, I mean, normally I think in Duskville, most of the commoners just eat this fungus, don't they? This thing. So if there's any meat or ribs or whatever, I'm getting it and cleaning it off and having a go, sharing it with a rat.
Yep.
Usual sort of thing.
There's a seagull there that's currently just trying to peck at your hand, trying to
I hate
get
seagulls.
it.
Rats are okay, but seagulls are bastards.
It honks in your face, proper like and then flies off, but not before depositing a little present on your coat.
It's lucky that is.
The rat is the rats around you are very happy to share with you. And by happy, I mean they let you share because you're bigger than them.
Yeah, I'll kind of let them go in pockets if they want,
Oh yeah, they're crawling all over you.
Yeah.
You suspect that one of them is now nibbling your coat. But he looks over, the waiter looks over and goes, "Yeah, well, occasionally you might find that, you're given some of the stuff that's come from over there, or we might wipe your steak on the floor, or you might get chicken that's, well, not actually chicken. might be well, we might find something that's in one of those bins and call it chicken.
That's smart.
Mm.
That's really smart.
Some people are nice though. Some people are really nice. Stand up people, you know.
Like Mr. Lazarus. I heard he's a stand-up kind of person.
He is. Oh, what a gent. He gave me, last time he was here, he gave me 2 coin as a tip. He's such a benevolent gent. Yeah, he's such a philanthropist. I mean, that's his job. Don't know how you get a job as a philanthropist. But, I mean, I guess, you know, be kind to people. And he is. He's kind to me.
I'm halfway there.
He's nice to everyone.
Yeah, he's nice to everyone. He's got
That's
lots
good
of
to know.
friends. He's either dining here with 1 or 2 people, influential people from around Doskwell. He always sits at the same table as well. He's coming in tomorrow night. Actually, he's got a table booked for 5 people. He's got the whole place booked out as well.
Sounds like someone who wants some serious.
I mean, he said he's got his favourite waiters working that night, his favourite chefs, and of course he's got food for him and some of his friends that are going to, well, not friends, but some of his people are going to be there as well.
So he's bringing his people in and giving them a meal. Is that like? Does he do that
Yeah.
a lot?
Oh yeah. He always treats his staff. I mean, you don't get to be a rich, wealthy person without having some kind of protection around you, and he's always protected. He's always got some bodyguards around him, but they're absolutely lovely too. Tell you what, the other weeks, one bloke came up to him, absolutely sozzled out of his face. They came up to him and started hanging off him. You know what the bodyguards did? They patted him down. They sat him down with him. They didn't beat him up. They didn't kick him in the fork or anything. No, they sat him down and they were nice to him. Such a nice man.
Wow. That's really surprising. I would not have expected that.
No. I tell you what he did as well. He said to him, "What do you do?" And the bloke went, "I don't have anything." And Mr. Lazarus, Mr. H.G. Lazarus, he said, "Come work for me." And he did. We saw him. We saw him the next week. He was in all dressed up. Pillar of society he was, that man, looking there. God, what a gent. What a gent. He teaches them elocution. Oh, it's brilliant. Elevates people. Brings everyone up to around him.
Amazing. Wouldn't you like to go and work for him?
God, blimey, yes. Yeah, I would, yeah. Trouble is, I heard he is a nice bloke, but he doesn't like smoking and he doesn't like drinking. And I like smoking and drinking.
Yeah.
And I do make a fair amount of coin from this place. From the rich ones that are nice. Oh, bugger, I've got to get back in. Oh, no. Right, hang on. He goes and gets another thing of beer. I'm like, right, can't drop this one. I'll pick that stuff up later. Oh, be lovely to talk to you. And if your friend wants more of that stuff, we empty the bins at 10. And he goes back inside with the beer, and you hear, "Oh, I want you told you finish this! Sorry, boss." So, is there anything else anyone would like to do? Otherwise, we'll move time on.
On the way out, can I just have a quick survey around to see if any... Presumably he's going to expect us to scope the place and see if anyone's keeping an eye out for us.
Okay, yeah, give me a survey roll, please.
Doing it? Oh, gone in twice.
So,
two.
have you got one in survey?
Yes.
I'll take your, unfortunately, I have to take your first answer, which is the two. It's difficult to tell. There are always eyes everywhere in Doskvol. On the way out, there's no one in the restaurant that's looking at you that you can see, other than people looking at you because who is this commoner that's coming into our beautiful dining room? But apart from that, there's not anything you can see. So, time's going to move on. And unless there's any other preparations anyone would like to do, you'll find yourself at the restaurant.
Okay.
And so you find yourself at 7 o'clock back at the restaurant, back at the dining rooms to meet Mr. H.G. Lazarus. And you are very quickly shown to Mr. Lazarus's table. The dining room, as you may have seen before, was plush, very plush. Lots of red velvet, lots of drapes, very cozy ambiance.
Have we lost Sarah? Just...
We have.
Yeah. Okay. Carry on.
So, Mr. Lazarus is sitting at the table, and you're shown by the host to the table. He is a gentleman with very well coiffed hair. It's quite a large, sort of slick back style, but with a lot of hair at the front. He's wearing a velvet dark green suit. He has a large orange cravat. And the moment you get near, the four of you get near, he stands up and offers his hand to you and says, good evening. I am H.G. Lazarus, and I have been very much looking forward to seeing you all. Please, he's going to offer his hand for you all to shake it. He offers his hand to you first, Larkin.
I more than happily, and I kind of look at him, sort of square in the eyes. I say, I've heard some good things about you, Mr. Lazarus.
Oh, please. No, I only do what I can to help those less fortunate than me.
Well, I'm certainly in that category, sir.
Well, let me see if I can help you. And you are a young lady?
I think that's me.
Yep.
Jellybean.
Oh, lovely. Yes, he bows, as is customary for young mademoiselles. Says, such a charming young lady. I believe I know your parents.
Probably.
Yes, fine people. Fine people. And finally, well, next you, young miss with the hat on. He looks at you, Vixen, and offers his hand. How would you take it?
I'll take it firmly and introduce myself as Avis.
Avis. Very good. Well, Avis, it is a pleasure to meet you. And he takes Grimlyn's hand as well. That's up to Grimlyn whether or not she accepts it, but he offers his hand. And he offers you to sit down. The restaurant is currently got a number of other tables with people sitting there dining already. But there are a number of people sitting around in very dark suits, looking with very serious faces. He offers you all drinks. So you all sit down around the table, and he says, "So, what can I offer you all to drink? Tea? Coffee? We have a selection of fruit juices. We have any. I mean, I don't personally approve of alcohol, but if you wish alcohol, you may have it. I'm not going to stop you. This is a friendly dinner amongst hopeful friends. What would you have?"
Can I ask you, if it's not too personal, what is your disdain on the liquor?
Oh, I believe it alters the mind. Nothing should get between a man or a woman or anyone, any person, and their mind. Nothing at all.
I think Barkin's already got quite a few things in there, so I'll take the juice personally.
Very good. Juice, please. He says to the waiter waiting there. Avis, what about you? He says to you, Vixen.
Oh, you come here more often, Mr. Lazarus. What would you recommend?
I would recommend the tea. They do exceptional tea here.
Tea, then, please.
Make that a large pot of tea, please. And how about for you? I don't believe I got your name, miss, he says to you, Grimlyn.
Does everyone else introduce themselves with their actual proper names?
I didn't, but then actually he does already know who I am. But everyone else, I think.
Florence.
Florence. Well, Florence. Would you like to partake in the tea as well? Or would you like maybe beer or wine? I don't, as I say, particularly like those things, but, well, tonight is a meal
I'm very
between
partial
friends.
to a cup of tea, so that will be fine for me.
Delightful. And how about you, Mr.
Larkin, Ambrose Larkin.
You said Larkin. Ambrose Larkin. Well,
Yeah,
Mr. Larkin.
I'm looking very confused with the way that everybody's introduced themselves, because it seems that I'm the only one that has actually used his real name amongst the group. So I am kind of.
Like, who are you?
May I call you Ambrose? We are friends after all.
Yeah, call me whatever you like. But I agree with what you're saying about liquor and altering one's perceptions. So large black coffee, a lot of sugar, very sweet.
And he says, you got all that? Lovely. Thank you very much. And the waiter heads off to go and get the drinks ready. And he sits back and goes, well, I have heard so much about all of your exploits. You seem a rather interesting group of people. And I must admit, I've had my eye on you for not some time. You've made waves, as it were.
And what's your interest?
Oh, I'm a philanthropist. I help people. I bring people up. I want everyone to have the best. And I'll be honest. Right now, I'm not sure what you can do for me. So, thank you. The waiter turns up with the drinks and he passes them out. Mr. Lazarus, HG, pours cups of tea for both currently Avis and Florence. He offers you milk and the other drinks put around. He pours himself a cup as well. It's in a very nice bone china. And he says, oh, where are my manners? Cheers. And he puts his cup up and takes a drink. Do you all take a drink?
Yeah.
We've got a drink, so I'll raise my cup. I'll snigger at the fruit juice that Jellybean's drinking.
He puts his cup down and he blinks and says, well, as I was going to say, it's not what you can do for me right now. It's more, let's call this a fact-finding exercise. I'd like to find out what you can do for me. And, oh, I do really hate this every time it happens. Quite often it's the only way you can get people to drink. Well, all I'm going to say is, he says, he puts his hand, you notice each of you now, your heads start to spin. All I can say is good luck. Your eyes start going black as everything starts swirling. You hear a thump as H.G. Lazarus hits the table, and then a thump as each of the rest of you do so.
Waiters didn't mention that bit, did they?
No.
Sorry. Yeah. Your heads are spinning when you come to. Eventually, your eyes grow accustomed to the light coming from a dim, buzzing light bulb. You hear the creak of ancient pipes, the sounds of creatures scurrying and scratching. You come to realize that you are in a cell with brick walls on the 3 sides and bars on the other. Set into these bars is a door made of Mars. Beyond is a large chamber, 2 floors. Your cell is on the bottom floor by the looks of it. Cells line the opposite wall, and if you poke your head out of the bars as much as you can, not very far, you can see cells lining your side of this room as well. A set of metal double doors is at the far end of the room. You are all in the same cell, but there is only 1 bed and 1 toilet. You hear a cackle coming from the cell next to you, and hear a voice that echoes throughout the large chamber. You folks there? I heard them bring you in, but I couldn't do nothing about it. Oh, I'm for it. They'll be back. They'll be back at some point. Could be hours. Could be days. Oh, it was days for me last time. Oh, not. Oh.
Down here regularly, are you?
No. I got picked up in a carriage. I'm one of Ogre's lot.
We're here to rescue you.
Oh, that's good.
Are we?
That's good.
It's all part of the plan.
I heard him talking. I heard. Oh, I heard.
Is he dead? Look at Barkin as the spirit.
I haven't heard a bell ring yet. I'll kind of try and get closer and peer through to see if I can see anything.
So it looks like you can see the bars of the cell next to you, and you can see a hand just kind of out of the cell, just kind of on the ground like that, a very thin, bony hand.
Okay, sort of go close. Can I reach the hand, check for a pulse?
Yeah, you can reach it. There's no pulse. You also know you're close enough to know that you would have heard the bell.
Interesting. This is a problem. It seems that they've got some kind of dampener here, or they've got the wardens in their pockets. I was hoping that if they didn't have such stuff, they wouldn't want us dying on their property. Causes too much trouble. Well, at least we got some meat until we're not going to starve for now. I'll pull his arm through.
You catch diseases from that kind of thing. I mean, he looks like he's got disease.
Oh yeah, consumption. I think that coughing, at the very least. These boils are pushed. They're not. It's not very good. Don't be sucking on those.
I think I'll pass.
Would it be... Well, I check for any gear we may still have on us.
You pat your pockets. Your equipment has not been taken. In fact, let's go to the engagement roll and let's find out what equipment you've taken to the dining rooms, because Sark has warned you that the meeting with H.G. Lazarus was potentially dangerous. So I'll allow you to have planned accordingly. So, the engagement roll. You choose how you want to basically get to the action. In this case, it's probably going to be getting out of your cell and getting somewhere else. So you have one of 6 ways you can choose this: assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, and transport. Assault is doing violence to a target. You need to find out the point of the attack. Deception, lure, trick, or manipulate. I need the point of deception. Stealth, trespass unseen. I need the point of infiltration. Occult, engage a supernatural power. I need the arcane method. Social, negotiate, bargain, or persuade. I'll need the social connection. Or transport, carry cargo or people through danger. So you're trying to escape from a cell. You're aware that there are guards, from what the gentleman in the cell said next to you, or at least there are people that may turn up after a while. You may use let time pass and find some information out. I will allow you a moderately free flashback, depending on how heavy you go, to figure out some information if you wanted to have prepared some information ahead of time. The engagement roll, as I said, will be how you plan to escape. Your general approach of getting out of this cell and into the wider facility. The only thing you all do know, because you've all heard the rumors, as this definitely doesn't feel like the Iron Hook prison, Dosvol's prison. So, figure out the point of infiltration first, and then we'll go to loadouts. And then I'll do the engagement roll to see how well it goes. So, discuss.
We're surrounded by walls. No idea when they're coming in. I think the assault is perhaps going to be the most appropriate if we've packed a load to try and bust out. Maybe stealth if we try and doing it quietly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there something we could lockpick? Maybe that would probably go under stealth. Otherwise, yeah, the louder explosive option potentially.
Well, put it like this: if he wanted us dead, he would have killed us. So there's more going
Yeah.
into this than immediately makes sense.
It
Either he
sounded
wants
like
to
a
try
test,
and
didn't it?
test us or get information from us. So I don't think we are in immediate danger at the moment. But how we act now will mark us upon how he tests us. But he's allowed this individual to die. Well, potentially die. There's 2 things, which is he's not really dead but drugged, and that's all part of this test. There are some sick individuals that I saw a play about it once that like to do these experiments, misdirect you and stuff. You had to actually cut your own arm off at the end. It was horrible. So
On the other hand, he has got consumption, so maybe they didn't mean him to die.
there was no bell, so it's one of 2
But no,
things.
there was.
So
Could be
I don't care. Is the answer. I'm no use to you. I could stab him up until he dies, and then the bell rings. If you want.
I mean, I'm happy to do that, but I think you check these balls. He seems dead. What? So if there's no bell, does that mean there's more or less ghosts?
There's always ghosts. There is always ghosts.
Yeah, there's always ghosts, but normally the wardens come and pick them up, right?
Well, no, they just
But
pick
if
up
the bell
corpses.
doesn't ring,
Yeah, so if the bell doesn't ring, is that there's more ghosts, or that they disappear off on their own somewhere? Or?
We'll come to that in a minute. Let us decide how we're getting out of this place.
Well, I was just wondering
first.
if it would be relevant if you could use the ghosts somehow to occult.
I mean, you definitely know, Larkin, that if there were no spirit wardens picking up any bodies that died, this place would have more ghosts and more spirits around than usual.
I'm not getting that feeling, though, I'm guessing, because you would have told me that.
Not in this room
Yeah.
on its own, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to venture further in.
So it's up to you. We can wait. We can force our way out. But when it comes to violence, it means there will be probably deaths, and that's perhaps not the best way to do things, considering. So I would suggest some kind of picking the lock or blowing the bloody doors off, he says, looking at Grimlyn, and then we'll make stuff up as we go along like we normally do.
Yeah, I mean, Grimlyn has basically been stood there while people are talking, muttering under her breath about blooming rich people and their stupid ideas and how they consider like poor people to be expendable and grabbing people off the street just for their own amusement and to set puzzles for other people, and generally some really kind of someone needs to pay for that kind of commentary.
And at the very least, this wall could pay for it.
Yeah. Is there actually a door, Kristian? You said it's bars, but is there a door into it? Yeah.
Into the cell you're currently in. It's like one of those Wild West jail cells where you've got kind of the door is it's just a frame with bars across it. There is a lock mechanism as well, and there's hinges, but it's just like a metal frame with more bars.
That's a suggestion. Try and tinker with the lock first. If those of us that are more skilled with that feel a label.
So,
well,
tinker a stealth approach sort of thing.
That'll go well. We can do that when we get to the engagement. So that sounds like you are picking one of your points of attack if you want to try and tinker with the lock.
So agreed, stealth. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Lovely. So point of infiltration is going to be wanting to lock in the cell door. So now I'd like you to think about your item loadouts. So obviously you didn't know you were going to go into an underground a prison facility, but you do know that you are going to be that you were going into a dodgy situation, so you kind of planned accordingly and brought things that you would normally have taken on a heist. So we're going to go around and I want your loadout. So we'll start with Grimlyn.
I would have gone normal loadout.
Okay. Vixen.
I think, regrettably, I would have gone light.
Okay. Jellybean.
What impact does it have apart from the number of things you can take? Like, does it penalise you if you
If you take heavy, you are basically weighed down because you have lots and lots of things on you. You're basically walking around with a coat full of stuff.
So mechanics wise, does it actually impose a negative or a positive if you go light?
It's if you go light, you are more likely to succeed at some things. Your position change. So whenever you make a roll, I don't say this out loud, but and I probably should, is that you there is a position and an effect. Position is kind of how much under threat you are. An effect is how much you are going to affect the world with this roll, and your load, dependent on the situation, based on my reasoning and your arguments, depends on what the level of success you might have. So, for example, walking on a tightrope, it's going to be difficult because you're going to be heavy load.
Yep, that's fine. I think I would probably go light. There's not usually a lot of stuff I really carry anyway.
Nope.
And I'm not that tall, so.
And Barkin.
Light as well for me.
Light. Lovely. It's just a shame that you wouldn't have known, so you wouldn't have prepared some wonderful contraption this time. I do so love your pulls the lever, Larkin's the contraption, falls to bits. He's actually back in the theatre. So I'm going to do the engagement roll then. So you get 1d6 for sheer luck. Does it expose a vulnerability target or hit them where they're weakest? No. Is the target strongest at this approach? Do they have particular defenses or special preparations? Ooh, well, you don't know that. Can any friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
Not really.
I'm going to say, would you have asked? You asked around about him ahead of time from people around there, but would you have asked anyone else ahead of time? Is there any other information you would have gathered, or anyone you think that could have helped you going into the situation with H.G. Lazarus?
That's a
I
no
mean-
from me.
Unless we followed up on what the waiter had said about the person who he'd helped and pick up a few of those people to see. But I can't think of any contact points that we particularly have that would have been useful at that point.
No, like I could have asked my parents about him, but I'm not particularly keen to talk to them if I don't have to. And we had an idea of him being this rich philanthropist, and your information was quite good that he seemed like generally kind. So I don't think there would have been necessarily more.
Okay. So are there any other elements you would want to consider? I'm going to roll 2d6 for this one, I think. See how well you do. So you're basically getting the lock and sneaking outside. So let's see. Oh, it is a success with a complication. The complication is going to be a clock. The clock is called Discovered. You are aware that there are people on patrols, well, not patrols, but you're aware that people are around here based on the gentleman in the cell next to you. So it's going to be an 8-segment clock. There is also another clock, which I will not reveal at this time, but it has 4 segments. So you deftly, and I'm assuming it's Vixen you doing this, you deftly pick the lock. The door swings open, leading you out into this wider room. And when you get out into this wider room, that, Barkin, is when you feel the spirits hit you. The moment you move past those bars, it's like a different world. Suddenly, everything's just, you can feel this place is awash with spirit energies, good, bad, and worse.
I step back into the prison cell.
Yeah, you step back, and it's like you put on a pair of noise cancelling headphones. Suddenly, it goes from just quiet again.
It's bad out there.
Is in here shielded then, or something?
Have I ever heard of anything? I mean, I'm sure there is ghost fence and wards, and there's like the what's the name field, isn't there?
Yep, the ghost field.
Yeah.
You've heard of things like that, yes. You are aware that when people, and it's rare, when people want to trick the spirit wardens, there are things you can do to places to dampen out the spirits. Make sure that anyone that dies in a place, the bell doesn't ring, or spirits can't get in and get out. You can't do it on a large scale, not easily. But on small scales, so like a cell or a series of cells, absolutely. Lots of arcane wards and things like that. In that cell, you're absolutely protected from the world. Anything that happens in that cell happens in that cell. It's like a magic circle in that respect.
Is there enough light to sort of examine the cell a little bit more closely?
Yep. What skill would you like to use to do that?
Study, is that? I mean, that sounds appropriate.
That sounds appropriate. Yep.
2 fails.
No, it's difficult. Whatever's here, I mean, it's got to be hidden away. It might be in the bricks. It might be old. It's difficult. It's you're aware of the effect of it, but you can't figure out the source of it.
Okay. Let's not dally. Let's go.
Okay.
And,
So
yeah, I mean, you said there's another exit to this.
yes, there's a set of double doors at the far end of this long room. I said you're on the lowest floor. There is an upper floor with lots of cells. There's maybe in this whole place about 100 cells.
Shall we check to see if there's any others worth a quick look?
Yeah.
Okay. As you check, there's obviously a cell next to you with the gentleman in. There are 2 other cells with, well, I will say corpses. They've been here a while, possibly.
Are they showing states of decay now?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not stopping decay, this effect.
No.
And the person in the cell next to us, now that we can actually see them like more than a hand, they definitely appear to be deceased.
Yes, based on the eyes and the rigor mortis that is setting in. Yes.
I'm more convinced with now that I can hear everything outside that, yeah, he is indeed dead.
You're also aware that there's the spirit wardens are normally fairly swift in finding the corpse and taking them away, because if you know that if it gets to sort of half an hour, you're in Spirit Town, baby.
I don't know what their plan is here at the moment, whether it's allowing to make sure that people that are problematic to them, they can have them disappear permanently without the spirit wardens knowing, or whether they are brewing up a spiritual storm. Let's see if there's anybody alive and get out of here.
Could it test to let us know that we can kill and hear, so they see what we're willing to do and perhaps our ability to control and keep spirits at bay?
Agreed.
Well, they're out of luck, aren't they? Because you've only got me.
Oh, I've had something following me.
All right.
Yeah, and it's still there in your head. It's still there the entire time. Sometimes it's quieter, sometimes it's louder. It was a little quieter when you were in the room, but it was still there. But now you're back outside that magic circle. Oh, it's there. But the cacophony of other spirits, thankfully, are wailing. To the rest of you, it sounds like it's coming from the bottom of a well, just distant. To Barkin, Larkin, oh, it's singing loud and clear. 1,000 voices, like 1,000,000 descant recorders all playing hot cross buns. It's awful.
I think I might start singing a song to myself. Some kind of bawdy song that I've picked up in a pub.
Wonderful. But there is a door ahead of you. 2 metal doors with a lock. It is a standard, looks like a kind of big mortis key? Yeah, big key lock, bolt lock sort of thing. And yeah, that's in front of you. There's no handles on this side either.
Just the lock. We see the locking mechanism from this side.
So it looks like it needs a key, and there is a keyhole. So it looks like you can put a key into the lock and unlock it from this side. And if you stick your eye in, you can see that there's no key on the other side, so no one's just left the key in the lock.
Anyone tried to tinker with the lock?
If you want, do you want to try and unlock the locking mechanism, and then we'll worry about how to do the door? Or I could blow the bloody doors off, as mentioned earlier. I mean,
I guess I can try and... I'm not very good with locks. But I can give it a go.
Now,
Got some
remember,
dice if you want like help, but I can't
Yeah.
help blowing them up.
you can assist. So, Jellybean, if you wanted to assist, you can take 1 stress to give Vixen plus 1d6. Or, Vixen, you can also, and do this, you can take 2 stress, so you can give yourself an extra d6. Yeah. Or you can do a group action where you all do it, but then you'll take the stress for every person that fails, where you all roll it. So
I'm unfortunately out of this, as I'm seeming now so shaken by this talking to my coat.
I'm
one
happy
of the
to
rats
help.
in your coat talks back to you.
That is
At least
part
that's
of
what you
my
think.
load. No, that is part of my load.
Okay. Sorry, Jellybean.
No, just I am happy to just take the stress to help if that's
Cool.
it.
So, yep, you get an extra d6, Vixen.
Yeah, and I'll push myself because I'm really not skilled in this.
Unless you want to do it the other way around. If it's,
I
I've
don't
got
mind
2 in
either
for
way.
this.
I've got 0.
Is it was there another skill we could use if you were doing it?
I mean, Grimlyn can do tinkering if that's what we need
Oh
to
yeah,
do.
there is an actual tinker, yeah. So if you want to do that, then you go for it.
Yep.
In which case, what? Yeah, I guess it's a kind of 2-part thing. So tinkering with the mechanism to unlock it, and having checked that the door then doesn't just open outwards, so that we don't embarrass ourselves by just going, we're going to make this whole complicated thing, and then discover actually we could have just pushed it open. Then what I'll try and do is possibly use part of the mechanism, pull part of the mechanism out to be something that we can grab hold of strong enough to pull the door towards us.
It does look like the door opens into this room. So,
Okay, good. So
okay,
I will.
make your roll. Oh,
Not so much.
yeah, you are currently in a controlled position. So, no, you're in a risky position. Sorry. Yeah, 3 unfortunately is a failure. So, your lockpicks looks like this lock, whatever this is, the mechanism is seized up at the moment. It's very, very difficult for you to use these lockpicks on this bigger lock and to get this to work. Unfortunately, that approach is not going to work.
Oh, stupid.
Okay, we'll take 1 Grimlyn specialty.
So
Can I do a flashback instead?
you
Ooh.
can indeed.
So, whilst it's not strictly an apothecary thing, I think Grimlyn would like to have got hold of some acid.
Mhm.
And perhaps with the broken lockpick or whatever, she will use that as something to trickle the acid into the locking mechanism with the view that it might erode some of the metal, and then we can shove the door, or at least make it easier to blow the lock at a later point.
Okay.
I
Absolutely.
mean, that's not why she grabbed the acid in the first place. That wasn't the original intention for the acid, but I think we
No.
could use it like that.
So I'm going to say take 1 stress for the flashback. Your apothecary friend has no problems giving you acid. That's not a controlled thing at all. So So you can get some. They give you some strongish acid, and yeah, you can. So your intention is to use it on the locking mechanism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I won't make you roll that because you've taken stress for the flashback. So you use it on the lock, and you hear a fizzling. You eventually realize, and I'm going to do a fortune roll for this one. See how good it works. Yeah, okay. So you hear a clicking mechanism, a clicking and a sound, and you're aware that what's happened is some of the inside workings have just now fallen out inside, and it looks like the bolt, the sort of the locking bar, is just sort of fallen out and slid out, meaning the door is now technically unlocked.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't want anyone to touch the lock though, because that's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone got anything we can prise this door open with? Because it should just swing open if we can give it a bit of momentum.
Yeah.
Throwing knives we could use to sort of pry. There's a flat blade to sort of slide in between.
You push it right up to the hilt, then you get maximum leverage. Hold open.
Okay, let's
Unless
give
the
that a
door's
look.
massively heavy and very thick.
Well, you'll have to find out, won't you? So, what are you using for as a tool? Sorry, I didn't catch it.
It was some throwing knives.
Some throwing knives. Okay, so that's one of your load, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Lovely. Well, you get to keep the throwing knives. So, what are you going to use? What skill are you going to use to open the door? Use these knives.
I was more just offering them up for someone to use, but
Oh.
I can give it a go. Grimlyn tends to be the more skilled expert when it comes to that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, unless you want to give that a go with finesse.
I'll say, what's the problem here? Does the doors need to come to us? Is that
Yes.
the problem? And the problem is there's a bit of a hole now where the keyhole is, so we need to jam something in there and then pull it out. Is that what we're looking for?
Something to actually go into the doors, not the keyhole, because otherwise the thing that goes into the keyhole will probably disintegrate.
Yeah, but if it's big enough to sort of jam in and stick for a moment, then it will give us traction.
Yeah.
Have you got a crowbar in there?
No, I haven't. One moment now. Head back up to the cells.
Yep.
Can I get hold of one of the decayed corpses?
You certainly can. Yes.
I only need a leg.
Yep. I won't go into too much detail here, but you can take yourself a leg. It breaks away.
Okay.
Cut some of this flesh off, and then we'll get the bone in there. We'll be able to jam it in, and then hopefully be able to pull it out. Yeah.
Disgusting, but inspired, I suppose.
We don't need it.
No, I don't. Maybe you should bring another one just in case.
All right. Okay.
So it sounds like you're wanting to do this, Larkin.
I'll hold the leg out. I'm happy to do it, obviously, but does anybody want to take the leg off me?
It's not pleasant. It's really not pleasant.
Okay, I'll do it.
You've got this one, Larkin.
We believe in you.
And I can't believe I'm saying this to the group that set off the Poosplosion. So, yes.
So it's important that we get out of this room. I'm going to use my tinkering to jury rig this flesh I kind of understand how acid works a little bit, and I'm going to try and use that to dissolve the bone a little bit, to make it a little bit the way that vinegar kind of makes bones go a little bit sort of rubbery and kind
I'll
of
take your word for that.
ram it in. Yeah, it's interesting. You put chicken bones in vinegar and you can tie them into
chicken.
knots. Yeah. I mean, no, yeah, obviously chicken, of course. But anyway, this is probably substantially different type of acid. But anyway, I'm using tinkering.
Yep.
I'm going to push
So-
myself.
Yep. So take 2 stress.
Does anybody want to give me any extras, or I basically want to get out of here. So
I can help with the tinkering as long as Larkin's got control of the leg.
You know where the good bits of the lock to stick it in. Now you've had a good look at it. So yeah, you take one. You take 1 stress, and you get an extra d6, Larkin. So roll
4.
your
I've got
tinker with
2
2 extra
tinkering.
d6.
I'm pushing myself, and I'm getting aid from Grimlyn.
Yep.
Okay.
So you get 4. Come on. Oh no.
Wow.
Oh my
The
god.
dice tell a really good story. 3
do
ones and a
indeed.
2.
So here's what happens. You put the bone in. This acid is really good. And the bone goes in, and it keeps going in, and it keeps going in, and it keeps going in, until eventually you realize that there's not much bone left, and your hand is getting really close to this lock, that this acid seems to be dissolving the bone, and it's rapidly now, the bone's rapidly disappearing, bubbling away, fizzling away, and it's getting back to your hand.
Okay. Do I take an injury?
Yes. You take level 1 at harm acid damage.
Okay.
You know,
Especially because you rolled 3 1s.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So at this point, the door is closed, and you can hear the sound of footsteps coming down from the corridor beyond.
Oh, finally, some people. I'll just tell them to open the door.
perhaps step to the side, let them come in, investigate, and try to grapple and incapacitate.
Okay. So you're going to wait. I said the door's open inwards into this room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything special anyone would like to do?
I'm swearing at my hand.
Thankfully, it doesn't seem to be doing too much to the live flesh except being really, really burny.
And I stick one of the throwing knives in to block the door from opening too far, so they've got a narrow slit to come through.
Yes, you can. What role would you like to do there?
Can I justify hunt to prepare an ambush?
You certainly can.
Okay, then let's give that a go.
Lovely. So, roll your hunt.
2d6.
So how come I get 3 1s and you get a double 6 again? Perfect. I love it.
So, yeah, you can put the knives in. So when these doors open, you know just the right spot. And because you rolled a critical, your knives are not going to be damaged. You will get these knives back absolutely fine at the end of them. Yeah, you have complete control over this situation. So you hear the footsteps getting really close to this door now, and you can hear the muffled talking of someone talking to themselves, going, "Oh, God, can't bloody understand this. Oh, I hate it. I hate being this far underground. Oh, I hope these people aren't going to be awake yet. Really hope it. I don't want to have to talk to them. Right. Now, I know you don't like this room, mate, but you got to go in. Come on, you got this. 1, 2, 3. And he's going to open the door. So before he does that, where are you? Are you going to hide behind the doors, or
I suggest having perhaps Grimlyn closest to where they're going to have to walk through, as I think you'll probably
How
have the best chance to do.
how big is this room? If I were to go back into the cell, would he be able to see me in there?
No.
No, it's
No, you can't.
too far.
Yeah, yours is kind of in the middle. So from where he would come in, he'd have a view not completely into the cell.
Okay. I guess I'm going to head back there then, and for the moment.
Cool. Anyone else heading back, or who else is going to be by the door? Jellybean?
Yeah, by the door. I mean, if I can be outside.
Yeah, you can hide behind the door. Basically, you're aware of, because of the critical success, you're aware of where the doors are going to stop, so you know exactly where you can hide. Grimlyn,
Hmm.
where would you like to be?
Yeah. I'm not going to be in the cell. I'm going to be hiding close to the door.
Cool. And Vixen.
Yeah, at the back with the doors, but a bit further back away.
Okay. So you hear him go 1, 2, 3. The doors open. And he's like, "Oh bloody hell! It's stuck again." Hang on, gotta get through. And you see this sort of tall, wiry guard walk through. He's got sort of plain trousers on. He's got a truncheon. You can see a very large dagger on his belt as well. He has a leather strap, sort of leather belt across his chest, where the dagger's kind of attached to that leather strap. And he's got a shirt on, a really grubby sort of beige shirt. It's got epaulets and everything. And on the epaulets, you notice as he walks in the door, he's got emblazoned the logo of the Eclectic Six. And he takes a step forward into the room and goes, he looks over towards the cell with those of you hiding behind the door, and goes, "Oh no, the old feller's dead. Oh, blimey. Well, better go get the jar." He's currently standing, so he's taken a step into the room, and he looks like he's about to turn around. So what would you like to do? You have moments to react.
So the door is propped open, isn't it, by Vixen's knives?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh. Can I see how his truncheon is attached to his belt?
Yeah, it's in like a little truncheon holster. There's a kind of a knot on the side, like a special slip knot. So it'll just, you can pull it out, but it's kept in place as he's walking around.
Okay.
So it looks like just pulling it would get it out of its holster.
Nobody else. Oops, Grimlyn. She's going to see if she can make a grab for his truncheon using finesse, because she'll probably like throw something like one of the lock picks that she's decided are pointless right now, to kind of take his attention in the opposite direction so that she can try and pull the truncheon off his belt.
Now, remember, you can push yourself, you can have other people help you, but you can also take a devil's bargain. That goes for everyone. I'm not saying you have to take it in this situation, but you can always take a devil's bargain as well. Or you can ask for one.
I'm going to push myself.
Okay, so take 2 stress.
Yeah. So that gives me an extra dice, isn't it?
Yep.
Let's see what the dice say.
You go for the truncheon, and he turns to you the moment you do it, and he's like, "What the bloody hell's going on here? Oh, escapees! Escapees!" So I am going to fill 2 segments of the clock discovered. And at the moment, he is facing Grimlyn. I'm going to go to somebody that's not Grimlyn to see how you wish to deal with this situation. Jellybean, I think Jellybean or Vixen first. Is there something either Jellybean or Vixen would like to do in this situation where this man is now starting to shout escapees?
I will tell him to shut up and slap him. Will I reach his face? I don't know, but
He's quite tall. He's quite a rangy, sort of tall gentleman.
probably not then. Probably like just somewhere in his midriff. Shut up.
Okay. Are you going to put any weight behind this? Are you doing anything?
It's still not going to do shit, but
Okay.
I'll try.
Yeah. As you are a small child, I am going to probably say you don't need to roll for this one, unless you wish to do something with the commanding of your voice or something like that.
Yeah, I will try and like make it a sway, I guess.
Okay.
Be like,
Uh,
yeah, just shut up, you know. You don't need to blab about it.
Perhaps I can help chiming in something like there's 4 of us, one of you.
Mm-hmm.
You will have better chance of surviving if you don't do something stupid.
Lovely. Yep. Get an extra d6. Take 1 stress, Vixen. That's very good. And it's gonna increase the effect of what Jellybean is going to do.
Okay. So is it 3? Still my normal d6s?
It's your normal, but with an extra 1 on the end. So
I do get it from that one.
Yeah.
That'll be 4 now because I've increased my swing.
Very good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Larkin. That's another critical success. So that increases the effect of what happens. So this man is stunned, and he feels your hand slap him on the back, kind of around the kidney area, and he jumps and goes, "Oh God! Oh no! Oh, you're all awake! Oh, sorry, miss. Sorry, miss.
Good.
Oh,
This place is dreadful. What is going on?
oh, can't tell you that, miss." You slap him again. I can't stop hitting my midsection. I can't tell you, miss. I don't. All I know is that we bring some down here. We take some into the room with the apparatus, and then if it works, we take them up. If it doesn't work, we put them in the cells.
What apparatus?
In the apparatus room, miss.
What
Oh,
kind of-
look.
What's with all the bodies? Do you just leave them here? Disgusting.
Oh, something eats them after a while, miss.
Well, they look like they've been a while. Very well. Where's this apparatus room?
Oh, follow the signs, miss, for the apparatus room. And he indicates kind of down the hallway. You actually see, poking your head out the door, there are signs on the wall. And you see signs for the following. You see canteen, toilets, stores, records, apparatus, mine.
Mine. Sounds like a large facility.
Oh, yeah. Yes, miss. Yes. Oh, you also see a sign for lift. We've been here a little while, miss. It's quite big. These the only cells though. The only ones we need anyway.
I'm thinking it's your lucky day. You get to help us around the place and you get to live.
Oh,
It's a bit presumptive.
okay. Oh, just don't kill me. I got a family.
Well, that's the point, I say, emerging from the darkness.
Oh Lord, he's already dead.
With these cells, they're protected, aren't they? We can just kill you if we want.
Oh,
And no one will know.
Oh, not just the cells. The whole place.
Oh, even better, I say.
Oh no, you shouldn't have said that. They'll go. His tears are streaming down his face now. He's
Oh, don't be so wet. It's not. I don't want to kill wet people.
Grimlyn, would you perhaps like that truncheon?
I think it would be a mighty fine addition. My
So
belt.
he has on him a truncheon, and he has a big knife as well. So
Yoink.
sorry, Grimlyn.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I'm happy to take anything that looks useful. So if he has any keys,
He does.
any of those kind of things, particularly because, and before we do anything else, I think if there are keys, she would ask him to tell her or tell us what the keys are for.
So I'll tell you the important keys. He says this is the key to this room, which he now realizes the lock is completely melted. So you've got the key to the cells. You have the key to the records office. You also have the key to the mine. You do not, he says. I don't have the key to the lift though. The captain's got that one.
How many of you are down here?
Oh, there are 6 of us. They're mostly in the canteen. That's where we use this as the barracks because none of the people in the cells is getting fed.
Are you quite close to your colleagues, having been down here together for so long?
Oh, we rotate in and out. The horrors of it, the spirits, the things you see, both in the cells and out the cells. I mean, all that mine.
Whereabout is this mine? Is it in Duskville?
Oh, we're in Doskville, yeah.
Which district?
One of the posh ones. Charter Hall, that's it.
Are we in G. Lazarus's house? Or does it lead to his house?
It leads to H.G. Lazarus's counting house. His place of business. We're deep under that. We didn't make this place though. It was already here.
No. Okay.
You made a choice to work here, though, didn't you?
I was hoping you wasn't going to ask that.
Wow. Not your lucky day, is it?
They gave me a lot of money. I've done a
Did that not
lot
ring
of
alarm
drugs.
bell?
I mean, all the pipe weeds. I've seen so many colours.
Suggestion would be let's bring this lovely fellow with us. And if anybody comes across us, we can see how close they are with a nice offer to keep him alive in exchange for their compliance.
I'll comply. I'll comply. Oh yeah. No, I'll do anything you want. Anything.
Or we could lock you in a cell.
Good.
He goes for it. He sort of pats his pockets, realizing you've taken his keys. No, I'd like to come with you.
I only thought with bringing him with us is one, he can give us a better idea of the area, and two, if we do go into the cafeteria and come across 4 of them, I'd rather not fight 4 people with knives. If we can keep them in line with threats, then...
Or if you can persuade them everything's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. He eyes up on the wall outside. There is his eyes just flicker for a moment and touch upon a cord that is attached to the ceiling, and it's got written kind of on a plaque behind it the word alarm. They just flick there for a moment, just alerting you to its presence.
How many of those cords are there through this place? Is it just the one outside the cells?
Oh no. Every room's got one, except this one. We don't want an alarm in here, otherwise people might try and pull it and get us to come in, trick us. We cut that one off.
Hmm.
I would perhaps suggest gathering up knives, but perhaps we go to the Hall of Records, see what information's actually kept there. The
How do
mines
you
don't.
get here? You come down the lift, yes.
Yeah,
So where does the lift lead?
the canteen
The lift goes from the canteen up, or
up. Yeah,
yeah,
up.
and then where does it stop?
It stops in there's the back rooms of the counting house that no one really uses
Right.
except us because they don't want us. We're not allowed to go in the front because look at it. I mean, look at us. We go in the back, the secret entrance.
Secret entrance. Good. Now, do you want to tell us about this secret entrance in case you have some kind of unfortunate accident between now and getting there?
Well, when you get up, the secret is only the secret from the outside. From inside, it's a door. You go up with the lift, and then you get into a corridor, and you take a left, and there's the door outside. And all we do is go up from the outside. It looks like a brick wall, and you just push the brick in the right place, and it opens. But from the inside, it just opens out. There's a push, and you.
I won't remember that. Can you remember it?
He looks and goes, "Yeah."
Not you. You might have
Oh,
an accident and not be with us.
oh, I was hoping not.
Well, we'll see. It's dangerous down here. Look at all the dead people.
I know, we did it. I mean, no, go.
Who works in the
You're not
mine?
making any friends, by saying things like that.
Oh, go. The mine, well, no one anymore. It was all shut off before we got here.
So the mine shouldn't be operational, which we don't want to. I presume we don't want to go to the canteen yet. So the
It
stores.
might offer an exit route.
It might, but we'll need the key from the captain, who I'm guessing may be in the Hall of Records. Where does the captain like to hang out?
Oh, yeah, he does like to be in the Hall of Records because, I mean, it's got a key, it's got a lock on it. And I got the key. Only I got the key to the records office, well, and him. Captain's got the key to the lift. If you want to go to the mine, that's this one that you've already got. You should be able to find the captain in the records office. Yeah, he'll be in the records office.
Is he telling us a little too much information?
You get the feeling that he's very scared right now. Very, very scared. He's willing to tell you anything and everything that will get him out of this alive.
Mm-hmm. What's your name?
Oh, Chemley. Chemley's the name.
They say that once your captives know your name, the chance of your survival rises greatly.
He brightens up a little bit. Does it? Oh,
Unfortunately, I got a terrible memory.
oh, oh.
So, do we want to check out the apparatus first? The
I want to know
office?
what this apparatus is. What do they drag people in there for? What does it do?
Okay.
I'm increasing the hidden clock.
Mm.
What was the jar that was mentioned?
Oh. I guess if you'll probably do me in if I don't tell you. In the stores, we've got spirit jars. And his eyes just flick for a moment over to the dead body. Well, there ain't no spirit wardens down here, so we got to do something with them.
I can tell you've not been particularly good at keeping up with this business.
Oh, we've kept up as best we can. Some of them came with the place. But some of them, they don't stays where we puts them.
Wow, I think you've been very, very naughty.
I think I have too.
It's okay, Chimley.
Oh.
And we should go. Hall of Records or apparatus first, team? I say I'm really worried about spending too much time down here.
Yeah, we definitely want to make a move.
Maybe once we step out of these doors, we'll actually cut off the spirits isolated to that room. There may be multiple sort of wards set up around it.
The staff would struggle probably if they were inundated with ghosts, but we'll find out.
Do you want to
I'd
go to
definitely
the
like to see what the
apparatus
apparatus is.
first? Because it
Yeah.
sounds like that might be unoccupied.
Sure.
Yeah, if we go somewhere else first, we might attract attention, I guess. But
Right.
So,
I'm going to cut the cord on our way out, though.
you're going to cut the cord to the alarm.
I'm in the hallway.
Yep. Very good. I'll make a note of that. So yeah, every other room has the same cord except for the cells. So you leave the room and you start following the signs towards, you said, the apparatus. Yeah. So you head towards the room, and no one. It takes you. It's sort of almost like two wings of this place. You've got the apparatus and the mine and the stores on one wing, and on the other wing you've got the cells, the canteen, the toilet block, the records room. So you're taken down towards this apparatus. It's a wooden door, and it just says it says apparatus room. On a sign that's been put on the door, looks like recently. It's not part of the original work. You do see faded signs here and there, but it's very difficult. It's impossible to make out what they say. So it looks like all the signage that's been put up has been put up relatively recently. Going into, so what are you going to just go into the apparatus room? Are you going to wait outside? Are you get any checks or things you want to do ahead of time?
See if it's locked. If it's locked, it's unlikely that anybody's going to be in there.
It's not locked.
Say to him, is it normally locked?
No. Normally when we go into this room, there's, well, all of us carrying the person in, and, well, you'll see when you get in there.
Where's the cord within this room? Is it within reach of the door?
It's right by the door, yeah. If you go in, it's on the right.
I go sending him in first to say, just in case.
Well, I think we all go in.
Yep.
Okay. So you open the door, and inside is a room, quite a large room, but with not a lot of space in it, because there's only about 6 feet from the door to this apparatus. And that's a light word for what looks like a massive piece of machinery. You see trailing cables going up into the ceiling, looking like they're connected to the electroplasm network. You have cogs and various different gears all over this thing. There are lights, valves, tubes. There's various belts attached to wheels that look like they should turn, and there are several levers on the ground, looking a little bit like a signal box. But right in front of all of this is a brass chair with a cushion on it, no back to the chair, and hanging suspended above the chair is this large cylinder with a hole cut in the bottom, looking like it should descend over somebody's head. On that cylinder, you see various pressure gauges. There are, again, tubes that feed into this large machinery behind them.
Have we or been put in that already?
No, you ain't gone through that. You, if you'd gone through that, you would. Well, you either wouldn't know it because you wouldn't be you, or you'd be like the gentleman out that in the cell next to you.
What does it do?
Well, it Mr. Lazarus says it makes the world a better place. Changes people's minds. It makes them pillars of society.
Compliant.
We're already pillars.
Yeah.
Well, some of us.
Yeah. No, you miss. You are a lovely young girl. That is as a pillar of society, young miss.
Unlike you, who by your own admission has been naughty.
Yeah. No, I'm.
Do you want to take a seat?
No. Please, no. It changes people. It takes away. I mean, it comes out different or comes out like that.
Do they lose
Lying.
free will? Is it like that?
These malleable. Some of the
Really?
things that they don't want to drink nor smoke anymore, and they don't. Well, they're polite. They're well spoken.
Well, I could get behind that, frankly, but
Grimlyn, do you have any more of that acid?
Yep. While you guys were talking, I was mentally looking at all the machines and the mechanisms to see what I can do
going through your
to make
gear,
sure that.
the dynamite, the
Yep.
sledgehammer.
I was going to be more subtle. I was going to make it so that it wasn't immediately obvious that there was a problem with the machine until they went to use it, and then it would go terribly wrong. That's my aim.
Oh, but
So,
what about the next sucker they put in it? What would happen to them in that case?
Larkin, and now you get closer to the machine, you also feel there is an element of the spirit about it, about that world.
I don't think we should destroy this for a number of reasons. Firstly, he's got so much wealth that he'll just repair it. We're wasting our time here. We need to stop him completely.
Is it our intent now to make him an enemy?
No, I think we get him and put him in this chair. See if we can make him our friend. Destroying the machine will prevent us doing that.
Right. I'm going to cut the cord.
At the very least, it will give him a taste of his own medicine if it don't work. But hey, I'm not the boss of you. We're equal. Grimlyn, you want to destroy it? You go ahead.
Have you ever seen Lazarus down here? She says to the guard.
Oh, once, yeah. Him and some strange lady. She was wearing like old clothing, old clothing that wasn't in fashion anymore. All ruffs and billowy skirts and that sort of thing. He kept calling her Miss Hart.
Is
But
that
he
a name
doesn't
I
usually.
recognize? Sorry.
So you go ahead, Grimlyn.
No, I was just going to ask whether that means that somebody else normally operates the machinery.
Oh, we operates the machinery. We does that bit. His machine, part of it came with the building. Part of it apparently was Miss Hart's design. And sorry, Jellybean, you were going to ask something.
I was going to say, is that a name I recognise? Is it anyone that's...
No, it's not a name you recognise. Miss Hart is not a name that you're au fait with in your circles. You are aware there are plenty of eccentric people that wear old-timey clothing, but you don't know any of them that go by the name Miss Hart.
Okay, that's fine.
Assume it may be one of the heart of the Eclectic Six.
Yeah, didn't we? Isn't it based on a deck of cards or something?
There is the eyes, muscle, mouth,
Oh, that's
mind, skin, and heart.
Yeah.
So it could just be, as you say, the Eclectic Six name.
That was it. I knew there was some kind of code names.
Mind being H.G. Lazarus, the planner of the group, if I recall correctly.
Correct. The Chemley says, well, it's a good thing the Dimmer sisters don't know this is here, because they try and destroy it the second they sees it. All the spirit energies going on around this thing.
I mean, that's our other plan. We inform them or the wardens of what's going on down here. So my only concern is that he's got too much power and influence and can bypass that. Not so much with the Dimmer sisters, but certainly maybe with the wardens. But I don't like the wardens myself. But it's a suggestion, that's all.
Well, are we going to break it or not? What do we think?
Could be repurposed.
I don't want to repurpose it long term. I just want to give him a taste of his own medicine. If we can destroy the mind one way or the other, that is a big blow to this group.
We would have to get him to come down here to do that.
Yeah. Never said everything was easy. I mean, there are easier things to do, maybe Jellybean can just shiv him up, or you could poison him or blow him up, or Vixen can put one of those bullets in his head. Maybe I can give him syphilis.
Why not all of the above?
Do I get a say?
Yeah.
Which would you like to give him?
Don't think I'd like the syphilis. Don't think I like any of this, to be honest.
Well, he wasn't talking about giving it to you, I don't think.
I've been close to him. He's probably caught it already.
Well, yeah. You did shake hands with Lazarus, so he's probably caught it already.
Oh dear. Mr. Lazarus won't like it if you try and kill him.
I'm not trying to kill him.
Oh, that's all right then. Oh.
Do you know anybody that likes people that try to kill them?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So, pointless statement.
He eyes up the now cut cord in this room for the alarm again. Oh. I want to go back. I want to go back to the bridge.
When's the next shift changeover?
Oh, they leaves us down here sometimes for days at a time.
Do they?
Could be 3-4 days time. We don't know normally. They just shows up and says, right, you lot go back up, and we turn around. Captain lives down here, but then he's a merciless bastard.
Is he?
Excellent.
Sounds like an excellent candidate.
Right, all the records then. Or do you want to destroy this thing?
Well, maybe the captain should do a little bit of a tour in the chair, and you can put the machine on. You know how to work it, don't you?
I do, yeah. No, we can put him in it. He's an absolute bastard, that guy. Oh, yeah, no, that would be good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, you're coming
Well,
round.
Larkin, do you have any interest in the stores with the spirit items stored in there before we agree to go fight this?
It's worth a look. I mean, spirit jars, 10 a penny around here, but they might have something a little bit more exotic. Shouldn't take long to have a look.
And it doesn't. The stores are kind of next door to this room. There are spirit jars and other miscellany. Of course, if you think of something interesting that you would find in the stores and you want to flash back later, you might find it in there.
Okay. Well, I'm more than happy, if it's okay with you, to increase my light load to medium load as I take a few of these items
Yep.
and just add
Absolutely.
those to what I've got.
I'm happy with that. Yes, load yourself up. I am going to, as the time is ticked on, increase the hidden clock. And unfortunately, the hidden clock has now hit its limit.
Great.
Larkin, you hear it. It's not something that happens very often because usually the spirit wardens get there first. The wail of a fresh spirit leaving the body that it once inhabited. At this point, it may not remember its life before. It may not remember its allegiances. It might be looking to replay the last moments of its life. It might be looking for vengeance. It might be looking to inhabit another body, much like Auntie Helen. But you're aware that now in these halls is a spirit on the loose.
Yeah. Buggerations. I should have probably thought about this. Probably should have dealt with the spirit before it's left its body. It's made it a little bit more difficult and tricksy, but it might want a little bit of vengeance. So always better to look on the bright side, as it were, really. Every cloud has a lining of silver. Well, I mean, that's a load of bollocks, isn't it?
You certainly know in Doskvol, every cloud just has a darker lining because there's nothing but cloud and nothing but twilight. During the day, during the night, it's just dark. So, where do you want to head to next?
I think cut the cord and head to the records office.
Yeah.
Or do you want to see if we can escape the mine?
If he's telling us the truth, this is where the captain might be.
So, you get to the outside of the records office, and you can see at the end of this corridor, because you've head to the other wing now. You can see at the other end of the corridor, you've got. Sorry, just finding my notes again. There we go. Yeah. So the other end of the corridor, you've got the records room. Sorry, you've got the canteen at the end. You've got the toilet block. Then you've got the records room, and then you've got the cells. It's kind of right next door to the cells. So where everyone else is at the far end of this wing of this prison. And yeah, when you get outside, the guy whispers, "The captain's he's in there. He's usually asleep or drunk. He likes the desk in the records room."
Shall we see if we can? Well, we have the key. Unlock it. See if we can go and truncheon him, and then drag him over to the other room.
Okay. So I'm going to require a roll for this one. So first, I'd like, because this is going to be split into 2 sections. First is going to be getting into the room, and that can either be with one of you leading it or with all of you, or whatever you want to do. The second is then going to be dealing potentially with the captain. So first, you've got a door, you've got the key, opens into the room. What do you want to do?
Any of you good with creeping in?
I've got one in prowl, but not good.
Yeah, same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's better than me. Do you want to? We've got also fellow my lad, whose name I've also forgotten again. Haven't really. It's okay, Mamuka. You're going to be okay.
He trembles.
So it's group action. We might as well do it all together. One of us sort of keeping an eye on making sure he doesn't shout out, and try moving carefully, take him by surprise. Does that sound good? Everybody?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so group action then.
So who's leading the group action? This is going to be the person that takes the stress for every failure that happens in the group. Who wants to lead? Don't all jump at once.
Can do.
I was going to say I'll happily lead, but I am not. I'm not. It doesn't matter, does it? Who?
No, it's just going to be the person that takes the stress if it goes wrong.
I'm more than happy to take the stress.
Lovely. Okay, so everyone needs to roll. What skill are you going to use? You mentioned prowl. Is that what you're going to use?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. So everyone needs to roll prowl. If you don't have any dots, roll. Just roll 2d6 and we take the lowest. So I want you to each roll your dice, and I'll call out one at a time for you to roll so I can see the results. So Larkin, could you roll, please?
Yeah, I'll be rolling 2d6. This is
taking
because
the
I
lowest.
don't have any dots in it.
So that's 2, 3. So that's 1 failure. So you'll be taking 1 stress so far.
Okay.
Jellybean, roll your prowl. That's 2 stress you'll be taking. No successes so far. Vixen. Three stress you'll be taking. Grimlyn, I really hope your good roll, your excellent roll, is going to be coming into play right now. Yes! Oh, yes. So we take the highest, so that's a 5. Now, there is a complication with this one. The complication is going to be, you hear, as you are sneaking into this place, you hear the wail of this spirit. It sounds like it is moving towards moving out of its cell and towards the main door of the cells to get into this corridor. It's not there yet. You've got a little while, but you can hear this spirit. This spirit's on the move, and it is wailing. It is caterwauling. It is not pleasant. However, with a 5, that is a success. And you open the door and you sneak into this room, guiding the young man with you.
Can I ask what 8 stress does to me?
Oh, 8 stress.
I was on 5. I've taken 3 more.
Yes, you are not quite yet at your limit of 9.
Right, okay.
If you go to 9 stress, And you can take 9 stress, and then if you take 1 more stress, you take a trauma, which effectively puts you out of the adventure.
Exciting.
Means that everyone else is going to have to try and find a way to get you out, because basically at that point you're just exhausted. So the guard, you can see him feet up on the table. He's got a tin cup on his chest. He's got you see in his truncheon holster, he hasn't got a truncheon. He's got a bottle of whiskey. However, he does have a pistol on his other side instead of a knife. What would you like to do?
Over to you.
The cord immediately by the door.
Yep. Cord is gone.
Okay.
Guess we have to
knock him
concuss
out.
him.
Or...
Yeah, I mean, possibly it's already out, but just for good measure.
I mean, I could also put a dagger in his chest, but depends if you want to get close.
One of those is slightly more permanent than the other, though. Do you think?
We only need these keys.
Do you not have any like chloroform or anything like that?
I didn't actually go to a restaurant thinking that chloroform was going to be the order of the day. I mean, I'm not very familiar with fancy restaurants. But Jellybean didn't give me any indication that.
Sorry, missed that one.
I think
it is the perfect
here.
aperitif, but
Right. Well, if we get out of this in one piece, I will always, from here on in, carry chloroform. Always.
can I just stab it?
Or why don't we just try and lift his keys without waking him up?
Because then I don't get to stab. I mean,
Would
we
we
could
try
try that first, I guess.
Would
You
we
want to
also
stab it?
lift the pistol so he doesn't shoot us later?
Yeah, good plan. Start with the pistol.
Okay.
So, well, you can try and take things off of him. That can be the pistol and the keys if you want. I'd like one roll for this. So who wants to do this? And remember, you can push yourself, you can help someone, or you can take a devil's bargain.
I mean, taking the truncheon worked really well for me last time. I don't mind having another go.
Perhaps.
Can I have the knife ready so that if it goes wrong?
You can be prepared with your stiletto knife. Yes, Jellybean, you're aware these rooms. This is another one of those rooms that's protected.
He said like most of the facility.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so you're aware that anything you do in here, Jellybean, oh, it's good and not legal, but it ain't.
I will help out.
Very good. So you get an extra d6 there. So please roll.
Okay. Can I also push myself?
You can take 2 stress.
I'm not quite at Barkin levels yet. We're
Nope.
getting there.
Oh, very good. A 5 and a 6. So 6 is an absolute outright success. So you lift, you notice he's got the keys kind of around his neck and he's got the pistol thing. So you take the key for the lift off of around of his neck and you take the pistol from his side. And he's still snoring away. Well, they'll probably just throw him in the cells. I don't care. Let them all rot. Let them rot. They're not worth anything. Kick them.
Is there anything of note in the room?
It's a records office. You can give me a roll to try and see if you can find something. If you would like to pick one of your skills.
Just had a bad thought. I'm going to sit with it for a minute. Or Vixen does that.
Curious. I guess Survey or study would be appropriate.
Yep. Give me a
One.
study roll, please.
Dice.
6. Excellent. So, with the 6, you look through some of the records here and there. A lot of them look like they've been burnt, destroyed, redacted. You see the plans for the mine. It looks like this facility was being expanded. And it just says plans abandoned. And it gives a year that was about 50 years before the current date. And then you find some newer papers with the Eclectic Sixes logo on it. But these have been redacted too. The pertinent sentence you find is former underground facility for the redacted. Facility no longer in use due to new facility opening at redacted in White Crown. Signed Hart.
A lead at least.
Is this also the bedroom for this captain?
Is this also the bedroom for him?
Yeah.
I mean, you get the feeling he probably just passes out in this chair every night.
No nice baubles to pinch then. Oh well.
No, I mean, all he's got is you see around this room, it looks like he's the only one that uses it. And he does make full use of the room, you can see or smell. It looks like he's also set up some kind of mannequins as well, that he's used for target practice with his pistol. He is, as I said, constantly muttering to himself. He stinks of booze. He is, yeah, you can see scars on him as well. But he just definitely looks like he sleeps in this chair.
Okay.
So, what would you like to do next?
So we have a couple of options. We've got the keys. We can just make a run for it. We do have a spirit on the loose down here. There's multiple ones, but this current one, which might cause us problems. I've had an idea. I might be able to get it to possess the captain. I might then be able to make it take the captain to the apparatus room to exact its vengeance and allow it some kind of release, having gone through that itself. It's difficult. These spirits, they are not overly in control when they are a maelstrom of emotions, you know. It might be best to cut our losses and just leave.
With the pistol and a hostage, we could probably get our way to the elevator without too much resistance.
So that's a
are
vote
the
for
round?
running then.
I'm open to either. Are the rounds in the pistol ectoplasmic?
No, this is actually there's it's a bit like a flintlock in some respects. It's got black powder, and a lead shot.
And of course, if we're not going to do that, Grimlyn, do you want to destroy the machine?
I probably have enough acid that I can destroy the machine, or I can replace his alcohol bottle with the remains of the acid bottle. But I could still break the machine with other stuff. He's just muttered about the fact that the people who come down here, that they manipulate and kill, are worthless.
I can't believe I'm the voice of reason here. If we kill anybody here, especially someone who might have vengeance against their murderer, they might well come looking for us.
Not murdering him.
Wouldn't the same happen if we put him in the
You
chair?
can.
No, because we are changing his mind. We're not killing him.
If he survives.
Well, that good. Blow them up. Blow those four up. No good. No good will come from it. Sell that little girl back to her family. No, I want to pay for her.
Or puncture a lung or something, at least. I don't know.
I
It's
mean, if you
very
want to
annoying.
do it quick, either of you, and I'll get the jar and try and capture his spirit before it can go on a vengeful thing. If you want to do this, do it. I'm not a good person. I'm just aware of the collateral damage death causes.
Rich people are idiots. That girl probably has no idea what's going on.
I feel we've built it up too much now. I don't know. It's taking the fun out of it.
Or
Well,
we
it
just
just-
leave. And his superiors can take appropriate punishment steps.
That is probably right. Us
Lock the door now.
escaping.
Right, well, on the way, let's go to the apparatus room and let's have some fun with that before we go.
Lovely. So you leave this room and you can hear the wailing coming from the cell. You have to pass by the cell. It does sound like this spirit is slowly making its way to the door. What would you like to do,
Sorry.
Larkin?
We've taken his keys. Can we make sure we lock him in this room?
Oh, very good. Yes.
Just so he doesn't trouble us again.
Yep. So you take his keys, and he goes. You lock the door.
And then to the apparatus room. Sorry, I didn't want to disturb you, but I just kind of wanted to make that apparent.
Lovely. So yes, you head to the apparatus room. Jellybean, is there anything you'd like to do at all?
No.
Okay. So you head down to the apparatus room. I just the little knife in your hand. It's not tasted blood of any kind for a little while.
I know, but he's just laying there, and we've stood around talking about it, and now it feels weird. Like if he wakes up, then it'll be different.
Yep. You like to see the look in their eyes as you stab them. I get you. No, very good. So, as a group, you decided to go down to the machine. So you go down to the machine. You've locked him in the office. Very good. What do you want to do to this apparatus, this big machine?
So basically, I want to look and see what mechanisms I can find that I think are probably important to the functioning of the machine. So those are probably mechanical parts. I want to use whatever acid I have remaining to kind of damage specific parts of the machine so that it's not going to be obvious that all the wires are sprayed everywhere. But it's if somebody goes to use it, that things will start to malfunction.
Okay.
So it's a kind of intelligent wrecking kind of thing.
Okay. If you want to give me a rec roll, you can give me a rec roll.
And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Apparently not meant to be today.
Oh,
So I'm going to say, because you're using acid on this, it's going to work. But because your lowest was a 3, there's no way anyone's not going to be able to tell this doesn't work. This is broken. This is awful. This is, this is obvious. You in fact, whatever this is made from and whatever that acid does, that acid is happy and it's not replicating, but it's eating very quickly. You start to hear pings and boings, and you start to become very acutely aware of an awful noxious smell that starts to fill this room. Except for Jellybean, she's too low down.
Time to go, everyone. Let's go. There's a definite clippedness to, or if that's even a word, to to Grimlyn's voice, which suggests really time to go now.
So you all head out back into the corridor. Down the end is the canteen. You are aware that the lift is in the canteen, but also there are the other guards in that canteen. There are 4 other guards in that canteen, if he's to be believed.
I would perhaps suggest one of us holds a knife to this one's throat, and someone else has the pistol, and we'll just slide our way around the edge with threats, get to the elevator, push him down, and go up.
Okay.
With my tinkering knowledge, would there be any way of knowing they could stop the elevator if he were going up?
With your tinkering knowledge, yes, you know that there'll be a call button, but because this is an old system, it relies on someone being in the lift to move it up and down.
Mm-mm.
So if it's at the bottom, you're in luck. If it's at the top, you're not.
Right.
Find out, I guess.
So, you want to hold a knife to this guy's throat. You want to go in the room, and you want to try and walk around the outside.
I'm quite open to any other input. If anyone else can think of a way to control.
Irrespective of whether we do that or something else changes, can I use a flashback to have acquired some oil and maybe like a glass or a jar or something, a bottle from the storeroom while we were there?
Yes, you can. I'm not going to say take any stress for that one. That's going to be really low stress. So yeah, you can have some bottles and of oil and things.
Just so that if things go awry, we can set fire to them and throw them.
Yep.
Fine.
Very good. So, I mean, it sounds like you've got a plan, or at least as the start of a plan. So, we're going to say something, Jellybean. Well,
I think what we should do is exactly like you said, Vixen. But I think we should demand they relinquish their weapons, escort them out of this room, and lock them in a different room, so that they can't interfere with the elevator.
Okay. Like maybe pop into the mine first, cut the cord, and shove them in there.
Yeah,
I think that's the locked room.
You get the feeling that the mine is the most spirit infested place here, based on what the bloke was saying to you. He says, like, you don't want to open the door to the mine. You don't want to do that.
Shove them in the cells.
Well,
The spirits.
Isn't there some kind of toilet or there's the canteen, but there's a separate. We just don't want them in the same room as the lift, do we?
It's a toilet block. You can stick them in the toilet block.
Okay.
Let's see how this goes. Okay. I hope your acting's good.
Well, who wants to be making the demands and who wants to hold things?
Well, I don't know. I suggest Vixen or Grimlyn, you do the demands, but Jellybean, you're the one that's good with the knife. You make sure you've got him, you know.
Yeah, it's not going to be against his throat, but it'll be against something.
Much lower down. You said you got children, huh?
I said I had a family.
Plans for any children?
Uh,
I think you
well,
get my meaning.
when I find the right person that's willing to put up with the heinous things I'm now realizing that I've done.
Maybe you won't need to keep doing them, and then they won't need to know.
Call this a
Okay.
redemption arc.
Yeah. All right. So, Jellybean. Well, what you're gonna? So it sounds like you're going to have the knife to his. Well, I mean,
Crown
probably his
jewels.
kidneys because he's quite. She's a child, so
mean-
kidneys.
Got just what I was going about, but yeah, like it is much harder to walk with someone.
Yeah. The moment you've got the knife in your hand to his back, it's his expression goes from fear to terror. Describe what Jellybean would look like holding a knife to someone's back. What expression would she have?
Totally normal.
Yeah, he's not looking too happy right now. He sort of takes a look at you and you hear him mutter. Just you hear him mutter, Jellybean. I wonder if she does it there, it'll be instant. I bloody hope so.
Depends how annoying you are.
So he's looking. I mean, yeah, being around the back of him is probably not a good idea at the moment. Sorry, lowering the tone even further. You you go in. You got a knife to the back of him. It's visible. You're going to make some demands. Who's going to say what? What role do you want to make?
Guess I'm trying to persuade them into giving up peacefully.
Okay.
So, just come in, gun out that. Something on the lines of, ladies and gentlemen, this is your new captain speaking. If you could all disarm yourselves and line up against the wall, then nobody needs to see more spirits in this place.
Okay. Give me a roll, please. Let's see how well you're doing.
Push myself and see how we do.
My word.
Lucky.
My word.
Very good.
Well, and that's very good because you don't want to know what would happen if you failed. You go into the room and you make your demands. The 4 guards are currently kind of sitting around the place. They're playing cards. They're 2 of them playing cards. They're drinking. They look over at you guys and just the look of shock. They see Jellybean's face. And you see them briefly for a moment look at the weapons, look from your face, Vixen, to Jellybean, to whatever Larkin what's going on with Larkin, and back to Jellybean, and you just see their hands go up, and they start to stand up slowly, and they move towards the edge of the room. We don't want any trouble. No, we don't want any trouble. We don't want any problems here.
Good. Well, that could be considered a shame, I suppose, but
Would you like to stab him? Because we don't like him.
oh, your friends don't like you.
Oh, we're just colleagues. We're not friends. I thought we were friends. Well, we are, but we're not.
I guess. The disarm. Did you want to lead them to the bathroom?
Yeah, I mean, I can do that. Disarm them and
Yep.
cut the alarm, obviously, just in case the alarm goes anywhere outside of the rooms that we've kind of seen. With me in case it wakes the captain up.
Is the elevator down?
The elevator is... It's down. So you can see that, the lift is here. There is a key to use it though. So you need to put the key in and it unlocks basically it's just a lever that goes up and down. And in the middle it's off. So it's up to you to operate it. But yeah, are you going to try and move them into the toilets and leave them there?
Yeah.
Okay. You
Having
realise
cut any kind of alarm cords, if there are any in that vicinity or on the route.
there are. Yep. So you lead them into the toilets and you can close them in there and try and sort of jimmy the door so they can't easily get out. But at this point, when you're in this corridor, you hear and emerging from the cells is this spectre. It's awful. It's just only you. I mean, only the people that have left the room to lead the people out to lead the guards into the toilets can see this. But it's not pleasant. It's the sort of thing that will give you nightmares for weeks, more so than the expression Jellybean has at the moment.
All right. If she sees it, it'll be a different expression. Like, oh, God.
Well, you'd probably be. I mean, depends if you've led. Are you keeping your friend with you, or are you also leading him into the toilets?
Well, do we want him locked in with everyone else?
Might be worth keeping him in case there's somebody at the top to have words with.
No, well, he
Can always just knock him out up there.
Cool. So yeah, you stay in the room, thankfully, Jellybean, away from this. But this is not pleasant. This is like just dreadful. This visage and it's dripping and screaming and words like dislocated and disassociated. It's not nice.
Does that mean we can't take them? Do we have to negotiate past this thing? Or do
No,
we just
it's
see
just
it down
it's
the
coming
bottom?
towards you. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see it down the bottom. It's coming towards you. It's an ever-present, almost like a clock ticking away, segments disappearing one by one until eventually, well, who knows? So the lift is there. It's open. It's empty. You've got the key. You have a hostage.
Right.
We're leaving now.
So the lever is fairly easy to operate. All you need to do is push it up and the lift starts to go up. And they were not kidding about this being underground because the lift moves and moves and moves and trundles and rocks and sways. And you're in this thing for a good 4 or 5 minutes until eventually a small window comes into your view. And the window is in a door that you have to open yourself. But you can see electric light shining through, the flickering glow, the reassuring glow of a more stable electroplasm current.
Should we do it?
Well, you're aware that you just have to go out this door and take a left and out that door and you're on the streets of White Crown, Charter Hall.
So, what we're going to do with our friend here?
And knock him out, or we can just bring him with us until a certain point and let him go once we get past wherever it is we want to go. It's not like we won't find out we left eventually.
Yep.
Well, I'm not sure how HG Lazarus is going to feel when he realizes you were instrumental to our escape.
I don't know. We do have an extra +1 for that table at the restaurant. Maybe we should go while Mr. Lazarus is there. Invite him along.
No, I don't think I'd like to see Mr. H.G. Lazarus again. I think I'd like to disappear. Maybe I could go to a different city. You could drop me off at the station, and I could sneak onto a train, or I could go. Oh, I could take a walk out in the
Now,
Deathlands.
my friend, you said you were paid well. You paid very well. One
I
assumes
was,
you have
yeah.
some kind of savings.
No, I had drugs, lots and lots of narcotics.
So you're no use to us at all then now.
So I can go.
I was hoping that you would be generous and share your ill-gotten gains with us. But if you don't have any, not even a coin or two.
Here, if you do anything up here, if you kill me up here, the bell will go.
Well, I'm not going to kill you.
Wouldn't that just be a wonderful gift to Mr. Lazarus, having the spirit warden swarm this place, finding the elevator?
That would be pretty funny, actually.
Well,
The
I
look on
was-
his face now is just like, no, don't do that, no, not the spirit warden's here, no.
Or we could
Well,
just
would it
send
matter
you
to you?
back down the fast way. It took us 5 minutes to get up here. I reckon if we cut the cables, probably a few seconds.
Oh no.
So anyway, coins.
I ain't got any.
It was worth a try. Let's go. I open the door and step out.
So you step out into the corridor, and there is a door to the left that has a bar on it that looks like you just push it and it goes open. Before we do that, sorry, Jellybean, you were saying something.
Sorry.
What's that?
Sorry, I didn't know if you were. Sorry, no. So yes, you step out into the, I'll say, cool Doskvol air, but the oppressive fog of Doskvol.
Yeah, I mean, I'm making a beeline to get out of here now.
Are you taking him with you?
No, I've just left him with the others.
Okay. And well, I mean, he's still with you, Jellybean. He's still got your knife to his back. What do the three of you? I mean, Larkin's just gone outside.
Maybe he'd like to join our crew? Could be useful to have a couple of extra hands. Auntie Helen might need a new servant.
Oh,
I think we need.
I like the sound of Auntie
on-
Helen. Sorry, Grimlyn.
I was just going to say that coming with us for a certain amount of time so that we can get clear of here, and I think is that fine. I would run if I were you. Once you're free, I would get on that train and go somewhere else.
He looks at you, Jellybean. He goes, can I go?
You can go.
And he just, boom, that's it, out the door. Larkin, you can see this guy's just, he's an awful smelling dust cloud as he makes his way as quickly as he can. Judging by the direction he's heading, he is heading straight towards the east, which is towards, well, either the station or maybe he's going to be right and he's going to go out into the Deathlands beyond.
That's ironic.
But he's gone. And you all stand out and get out into the Doskvol night.
I don't know what all that was about. Weird.
It seemed that Lazarus wanted to rehabilitate us.
Well, yes, but then why us? It seems like he wanted to hire us for a job, and the tests I can understand. But if you put people in that machine, I doubt they'd be very effective criminals. So, like, yeah, maybe he did just think criminality was a problem. I don't know, but we seemed an odd choice.
Didn't he
He
wish us
wanted,
good luck?
I think he wanted to make us more useful by making us more in the image of what he considers to be acceptable.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
insane,
maybe,
clearly.
maybe we should try and get him back down there so we can kill him down there.
I'm still in
I think
favour
we
of
should
going down
find
for the...
out.
Go ahead, Grimlyn.
Can we find out how long has passed?
Yes. Well, I mean, Jellybean's a very well-to-do young lady. Would she have like some kind of clockwork watch or something on her, or would she just have servants to tell her the time?
I mean, if those sort of things exist, maybe like a pocket watch.
Yeah. So, well, pocket watches do exist. So you can see that you knew the restaurant was at 7 o'clock. You can see that it's currently 3 in the morning. Currently, you think you presume your parents probably wouldn't send anyone out for you until at least maybe 3-4 days.
They're used to it.
Yeah,
And they're also very preoccupied.
at the moment they're not even living in the
They're not
same
really.
wing as the house of each other after what
Yeah.
you did. So they don't even want to look at each other in the eye. Currently they are asking you to be the messenger. And by asking you, they mean they're asking you to ask your servants to pass messages between them.
Well, it doesn't seem like the knockout was for very long. It seems like it's been the same day and it's now the early hours of the morning. He's unlikely to be easy to access at this sort of time, I suppose.
So what's the plan then? Are we going to get the was it the Dimmer sisters or the wardens in on this place, or are we just earmarking it? I mean,
Those would both be
we
people we
could
could get favors with, possibly. But
Mm.
or we could go back down there
Wasn't there-
ourselves. He said it led to the counting house.
Oh, sorry, this is the counting house. Sorry, it went.
I thought we were outside. Like, but did we come out in the counting house itself? Or
Yeah, you came out in the counting house, but sort of at the back of it. So you kind of left by a back entrance. But now you're in the alleyway. You see the door. This wall swing shut, and as it closes and it conceals the fact that it's a door, it just looks like a brick wall. But you notice on one of the bricks there is the symbol of the Eclectic Six.
Can we open it from this side?
If you push the symbol, it's like it pushes in and the door just goes dunk and opens.
Okay. So we could try and get him in his counting house and get him down there and interrogate him.
I'd suggest leaving it for now. I'm half expecting there to be a message waiting with Sark. We have this document about the new place being found out. Perhaps we can investigate that further.
there's that, and there's also potentially we now know what he's got down there, what he's been doing, and we could perhaps use that as leverage one way or another. It either means he has to clear out his operation or trust us not to say anything.
Yeah.
Clear it out.
Wow. Presuming you're not going to keep standing around in this alleyway, are you heading back to the hotel?
Yeah, but theatre.
The hotel, the theatre, sorry,
Yeah.
the theatre. So you head back to the theatre, and when you get in, Sark says, "Bloody hell, that must have been a good night." Cool. I mean, except for you, Jellybean, obviously, I know you shouldn't be touching alcohol. You're far too young for things such as that.
I have the fruit juice.
You had the fruit juice. Oh, I'm sure it was absolutely delicious. I've never had fruit juice. I've only had the juice from mushrooms because that's all people like me get. But yeah, about half an hour ago, I took the Jed drop. We've got a little letter in there.
Do we?
Yeah. It says, You have given me an interesting problem. I'll be seeing you. H.G. Lazarus. What the bloody hell have you done? And I think that is a very good place to stop.
Well, that begs the question of how he knows that we've given him an interesting problem.
Well, it took us a degree of time to move through the city, so I'm assuming the time of the dead drop, that would have been after us getting out, wouldn't it?
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
He
Yeah,
must have
it's
gone
it's taken a little time to get across. But thank you very much, everybody, for playing. I hope you really enjoyed it. And yes, Rachel, I share the same sentiment. It is definitely bedtime, as it is late as we record this. Once, as always, I want to say thank you very much for letting me run the game for you. Thank you if you're watching, if you made it this far. Thank you. And I'll hand over to Andy.
Yeah, very quickly, because like you said, it is a late hour. First and foremost, thank you very much, Kristian, for running it. Absolutely marvellous again. I had a whale of a time. And if we can, just a few more minutes more, quickly go around and favourite bits that you had this session. We'll start off with you, Rachel.
Yeah. Well, it's always good to be a bit threatening, because that's the funny juxtaposition of playing Jellybean. So making a guy terrified for his life is funny.
Yeah, no, it was very good, and it is very, very scary as well. Vixen, Kyle.
I think it's going to have to be 4 dice rolled and not 1 success. Let's do tell a story.
Yeah, I mean, you did do some dice rolls which were critical successes. I know you at least got 2, if not 3 there. That was amazing. But yeah, it's great seeing the dice tell a story. I never mind failure, especially if you can fall forward and kind of promotes the story going on in an interesting way. Sarah.
I think for me, this story has been surprisingly full of ethical dilemma, where the kind of you're released from the standard kind of you need to be very careful. People mustn't kind of bad things mustn't happen to them in a serious way. And when those gloves are off, there are some definite dilemmas about what happens to people who are on the wrong side of you. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Challenging.
So
But good fun. I really enjoyed it.
Maybe Grimlyn wants to take over this mine and take all of the people she doesn't like down there. Sometime in the future, I can see that plan formulating in your mind now. Kristian, any standout moments for you?
Well, actually, before that, I want to say this is probably now going to become Jellybean's new place where she lets off her vice.
Yeah.
Previously, it was the meat factory, but now, well, meat's back on the menu, boys.
Yeah.
No, my favourite moment is as always, players failing to get through a door.
Yeah. Doors, nemesis.
That wasn't a long time. Like, let's
4
try and
dice, 3 ones, and a 2. You know.
Yeah. As Rachel says, I don't know how much time it was in real time. It felt like a long time, and I thoroughly enjoyed all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite moment. I almost say loved the ethical dilemma that you were going through. I deliberately made sure that you could kill down there, and I will say I didn't anticipate that. I thought the first time that was going to come off, the stabilizers were coming off, Jellybean shiv was going to be in someone's back before you knew it. But
I really wanted to do it, and it was a bit like almost disappointing because the guy we were carrying around wasn't like aggravating enough to us, I suppose, to like want to kill him. And then the other guy who obviously was asleep, and we all just thought, so then I was like, oh no, I want it to be like he's coming at us or like he's actually against us, and it's like now I feel like it's anticlimactic if I just
you rolled a lot of 6s, unfortunately. Otherwise he definitely was waking up.
But it's potential that, you know, if I sneak down there later and he's still asleep. You know.
Yeah, so that's my favourites. Andy, what about you?
My favourite thing was that you never got to see what my load was this time. Who knows? I know. But maybe it'll come up next time. Secrets. It's all good. Perhaps you probably didn't want to see what it was, but hey.
It was a ball gown, wasn't it?
Not saying. No, thank you for a thoroughly marvellous evening. It's been a blast as always. Thank you very much for viewing. If you have got to this point, don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe if you can. It's always helpful for our analytics and everything else. And not putting any pressure on you, Kristian, but when's the next one?
Late February?
Late February, hurrah! Yeah, so hopefully within a month we will have the next episode. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for playing and running. We will see you all again very, very soon. Night, night for now. Bye-bye.